24 Days of Wonder. 24 stories from my 19 years with Santaland on 34th Street. Story number 5, Parade Santa. This isn't a story of Santaland, really. The man I'm talking about never actually worked in Santaland. But I met him there, and because of him, hundreds of thousands of people knew to visit Santaland to see the one true, real Santa Claus each holiday season. When Jean McFadden took over the Thanksgiving Day Parade in the late 70s, she added many things to it to make it fuller, richer in talent and look, and more modern. But one of her earliest changes was one of the longest lasting. She decided that Santa needed a new sleigh to bring him down the parade route. Manfred Bass and his team at the parade studio designed and built what became known as the Swan Sleigh, and it would be Santa's transport down Broadway for the next 30 parades. Jean, at the same time, also tapped the man she thought should sit in that sleigh. She chose a gentle giant from the Herald Square Building Services team who had been a very active parade volunteer for almost 20 years. His name was Mike Hastry, and he was a perfect choice. Well, first of all, he looked perfect in the outfit. He was a big, strong man with a quick smile and twinkling eyes, and he had a wonderful way with people, especially children. He was soft-spoken, and as large as he was quite gentle in nature. He was also a humble man and had a great sense of humor. Mike never went through the training that the guys in Santaland go through. He didn't need to. Santa came naturally for him. He would visit with the children of the store's executives at the party they had after the parade, but he would also suit up a couple of times during the season to do hospital events, and for a big event for disadvantaged children that was held at JFK Airport each year. The first time I met Mike was my 3rd year with Santaland, when he came to the Santa dressing room to suit up for a charity event. Oh, he noticed my cowboy boots and western belt, and he immediately went into a John Wayne impersonation. And over the next 12 years, I would hear that impersonation a lot. I got to know him over the next couple of seasons in both of his personas, Santa and building services guy, and I like both of them. From the first moment, he treated me as a friend. As I moved up in the company, I got to be around him more often, and I got to see him in action with the children. He was really quite wonderful. He had the demeanor and the patience for the job, and the children knew from the moment they met him that he was the real Santa. 2 years in a row, I had to run to Santaland to get him a dry outfit to wear because it had poured during the parade. Those years, everyone was grumbling who worked on the parade, as they were miserable days to be outside for hours on end. But Santa's only concern was getting to the waiting kids as soon as possible, and regaling me with jokes about wet weather. After that, he always tried to have a new joke for me whenever he saw me. After 50 years with the company, he retired, but he still came back for the holiday season for building services, and to the parade as Santa. He also continued to volunteer as a worker on other events that we did throughout the year. I was very fortunate to be able to spend as much time as I did in his company. A few times we would walk to the subway together after an event, and somehow we always managed to get into more meaningful conversations on those walks. In 2003, Mike developed throat cancer just prior to the parade. He had to miss the parade for the first time since he joined the company. It broke his heart. A long-time Santaland Santa filled in for him. Mike's cancer went into remission, and Mike made it back for the 2004 parade. The illness, though, had caused him to lose a lot of weight. There were many comments, including from the television people, that Santa looked a little too thin. 2004 would be Mike's last year as Santa. He was very sad to have to give up the reins of that sleigh. Those of us involved with the parade were just as sad. Mike had, after all, been Santa for a generation of parade watchers. He had visited with tens of thousands of disadvantaged and sick children over those years as well. But Mike did understand the reasoning, and he had always been a team player. So, for the next couple of years, Mike was on the showboat float as the ship's captain. He would ride up in the wheelhouse of the boat, waving to the crowd as the talent and the kids on the float did their routine below him. His last parade, Dolly Parton was the talent on the showboat. He called me the following Monday. "Best parade I ever had," he informed me. "Really?" I asked. "Better than being Santa?" "I never got to look down Dolly Parton's blouse for 3 hours when I was Santa," he replied. "And let me tell you, Pilgrim, those are some grand tetons." It'd be the last time I talked to him. Mike passed away suddenly and peacefully on December 25th that year, Christmas Day. Santa's work was done.